My name's Latik. I normally don't say it out loud, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to transition to a good situation. On Smash is my artist name. I'm supposed to be looking at you, right, or directly at this. All right, better. All right, cool, cool. But yeah, I do music. I do songwriting. I produce and I vibe.
Okay.
It's okay.
So where are you from?
From Queens, Brooklyn, New York. I gotta rep both because you know what I mean. You know what I mean. My father, my mom from Brooklyn, so my family just out there, and I've been being out there since I was younger. You know what I mean. Half of my life and the other half of my life I was in Queens growing up and stuff like that. So I rep Queens and Brooklyn, New York all together though.
Okay. So how did you come up with your name?
On Smash, it started with Smash first. That was my artist name first. When I was younger, I used to do graffiti and stuff like that, and Pop was my first name. That was actually ended up being my high school nickname, Pop. And I used to just, you know what I mean, graffiti spray paint. I actually got locked up when I was in school one time. We was just, you know what I mean, fucking up the desk and then bathrooms and shit. And then niggas actually locked us up for the shit. Went and eventually still was doing it. And I'm like, damn, I want a new name, something else. You know what I mean, something fresh and everything. And I'm thinking of a name that could kind of mean a bunch of different things in one. And the word smash, I don't know how it popped up in my head, but I'm like smash. I'm like, all right, smash girls. I was fighting the light at the time, so you know what I mean. I smash niggas in their face, and then you make smash hits. So I'm like, it all kind of comes together. So I use the name Smash, and then from there, I kind of wanted like a 2-syllable at least name, like a name with 2 syllables. We got Jay Z, kind of yeah. You got the 2 syllable was a thing for me. So I was like, eventually, matter of fact, I made a project called Game on Smash, and I'm like, what about just on Smash? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's on Smash. I'm on name Smash. It works. So that's how I came up with the name.
Okay. Now you say you did the graffiti, and I know
Yeah.
that that's real huge out in New York. And,
Right.
and y'all even have like different teams.
Right.
The importance of the tagging of it. Why is that?
To be honest, it was more so a thing when I was young, and obviously graffiti is actually part of hip hop too. That's the fire part about it too. It made me feel even more attached to it. But back then it was just a thing where I just had people that kind of were just into it, and you know what I mean. We just was just badass little kids sometimes, so we just wanted to do anything to just make a mess or just put our name somewhere or be able to. Or sometimes I ain't gonna lie, I used to be on the train and I used to just ride past and I used to see some fire artwork when I was into it. So fire artwork, and I'm like, damn, like it would be dope for somebody to know my name just riding on the train and see like a big fire. And I used to draw and sketch and stuff like that. I was a real good sketcher. And so, you know what I mean, art was just my vibe. So I used to think like, you know what I mean, let me try to create something. And that's what made me get into it more and more, aside from the people that was around me that was just doing it. Not too many people around me was doing it, but you know, I was into different things. So for the ones that was doing that, I just tuned in with that at that time, and that's how that kind of worked out.
You know, I know doing that it's not as simple as like getting a pencil and
Right.
sketching. So what doing that? It's like is that how do y'all come up with the concept, or is it just straight out the head and you spray it, or?
To be honest, yeah, that's how it kind of works. Like you just, you know what I mean, you go and you just catch a flow, you know what I mean? You just want a nice little design. I like circular kind of like, I used to like add little arrows, fill in the arrow with the spray paint, get a different color, add another color, you know what I mean? Actually started going, that's when I started going to Home Depot more. I found myself at Home Depot for the first time, buying like, trying to buy spray paint and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of just go with the flow. You know what I mean? I think like any artist.
Okay. So what made you get off into the music?
Uh, since I was young, actually, I would just think about this. I think about this every now and a while. When I was in 7th grade, well, the first time I ever hit the stage was in 6th grade. We had this Stunt 101, 50 Cent, Lloyd Banks, and damn shit, I don't even forgot who the third. I don't know, was Yayo on that one or was no? It was Bucks on it. I think young Buck was on it. And we performed that. It was me and two of my homies, and that was the first time I was on stage. So the next year, 7th grade, I'm like, I want to do something where I wrote the lyrics too, because we just rap Stunt 101, you know, we just vibe. So in 7th grade, we got on stage, and I was rapping, and at the end of the rap, I already felt like before the end of the rap came, I felt like at the beginning that it started off too late because the person previously from me kind of like went over their time. So I kind of felt like it was going to mess up at the end. But at the end, the last 2 bars came, the beat had cut off, but it cut off at the perfect last 2 bars. And when I started rapping, it was just me rapping and just the audience. So you just hear my voice. It was quiet in the audience, but it was right on time. So the 2 bars that kicked in at the end, I was like, stay with your level because we're going to be there at the future of time. and everybody was like, oh, went crazy. I had a girlfriend, little light skin, you know what I mean, girl had came through, you know what I mean. That's when I was in my light skin. You know, I like my dark skins and everything, but light skinned girl came on the stage. She had big titties and shit. She was on me, gave me a hug. Everybody looking at me. I felt dumb good. I'm like, nah, this feeling right here, that caused me. That was like a drive that just started from then till now, and I never lost. You know what I mean? Sight of that feeling, like, and I just still want that feeling.
All right. So, projects. How many projects do you have out?
Yeah, I got a project out right now called The Playground. I could just type in on Smash The Playground on all platforms, no matter what you got. You know what I mean? Tidal, Spotify, Apple Music. This project, you know what I mean, just was made over the past year and change. I think I kind of incorporated something like a year and change ago, but mainly in the past year, 2020. And I was just working hard, and I just created a project called The Playground. So yeah, it's fire. Cover artist Demon. It's a beautiful project. I don't know if we're going to dive into it some more, but I'm gonna let you continue talking.
All right. Now, what is your creative thought when doing your music?
Before it was, I used to write on, you know what I mean, I from pen and pad, or you know what I mean, pencil, paper, whatever, to my phone. I used to write lyrics before. So when my process at that time was, I was able to sit down and like think about stuff. You know what I mean? Before I even get to record on a beat. So it was a different thought process, and I used to rap harder. I wasn't like on my melodic stuff more so, and I wasn't using auto tune and none of that. So when I go in the studio, I already kind of pre-thought of everything, and I'll just go lay it down and execute it. And I was a rappy kind of dude, so that made me do that. But over time, when I own my own studio, which I got right now, Williamsburg, Brooklyn, um, at that time I was able to like sit down and record myself. And when I record myself, I don't write nothing down no more. You know what I'm saying? Everything just off the top of the head. So when I'm recording, I'm just going with the essence of the moment and trying to just create the best words that make sense for that song. And it kind of just created like a different stream of music for me, kind of, you know what I mean? Just being able to be melodic. I wasn't like no singing type dude. I can't sing. Girls still be asking me, yo, sing for me, because it sounds good on the record, but in person, it should sound horrible. I'd be laughing at myself in the studio. But when I'm in the studio, I just catch a vibe. Might smoke some weed, might sip some liquor. I might even play the game before I start. You know what I mean? Get my adrenaline going. And yeah, that's just my creative process. And when I'm in there, I just vibe out. And if the beat is fire and I'm feeling it, I might have like 5 beats I want to work on. I'll go through them. Once the one that, you know what I mean, I feel the best about at that moment that I'm really feeling, I'll go with that flow. So if it's a vibe about girls, like I feel like the song should be about girls, that's where I'm going with it. You know what I'm saying? If I just went through something hard in life or something like that, and I hear a beat that's more calm and, you know what I mean, a little more conscious and get a little deeper with it, I'll just go with that.
Okay. So what's your stance on the fact that a lot of older heads are, criticizing the newer artists, and the newer artists not giving the respect to the older artists?
I feel like there's a lot of miscommunication when it comes to that, because I feel like there's a lot of young artists that is respecting the older heads, and I don't want to use the word older heads, because as I get older, I start feeling like an older nigga, and I'm still young in a way, but you know what I mean? It is what it is, I guess. And I think there's a lot of older heads that respect the young dudes, but I think they get misconstrued over time, because, you know what I mean, everybody start talking about it, stuff, yo, how you feel about it, you know what I mean? Or like, but I think it's just a thing with some people. I think there's a lot of respect in between. But as far as when it comes to the ones that don't really respect the older heads, or the older heads not really respect the youngers, I think it's a disconnect, because we feel like the like it's not being categorized correctly, how we want it to be as far as old hip hop and new hip hop, because there's a lot of different streams of how we do it now. So I think older has respect just the art form as far as like lyrics wise, and delivery and uniqueness more, and the fact that everything now is just more generic and, you know what I mean, copied off of each other in different ways, that they don't respect it, and they feel like that's where the disconnect kind of kicking. But I think there's a lot of communication. I think actually a lot of what we do now as far as new artists, I say I'm like in the middle. I want to say like I'm too new. Like I'm like 19 and none of that. But I feel like they do kind of still have some of those elements in it, just in a different way. And I think over time, when we start being able to categorize it a little bit better, people will feel a little bit better about how, you know what I mean, it sounds when you talk about it.
Okay, now in today's music, originality is something of the past. Everybody pretty much sounds alike.
Yeah.
Using the same imagery and things like that.
Right.
What's your thoughts on that?
I think that it kind of sucks, because like me, I that's what kind of was holding me back a little bit for certain things, because I'm like, I'm trying to be as original as possible. I want to hit niggas with the bars. I want to, you know what I mean? But and I don't want to copy nobody. That was my thing. When my mans would do something that I see somebody else do, I try to like create, yo, bro, like chill with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's figure out how we gonna do our own thing. But over time, I saw the greatness in being there, just like a sample when somebody got a beat and they sample an old song and they create a beat and they make it a new one, and some people be like, nah, that's not your work. Like you took it from somebody else, but it still give you a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it wasn't done. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there's a lot of goodness in just being able to just copy something and make it in your own. But if you don't at least show, I mean, pay homage to what you got it from, you know what I mean, or at least don't make it seem like you just unique when you're not. You know what I'm saying? If you could just make it clear in a way, you know what I mean, when you being asked a question or whatever, I think that I'm a little overplaced with this, but I think that it's okay because eventually I had to kind of get out of the. I gotta just do what I'm doing. I gotta do what I'm doing. It's a new day and age. You know what I'm saying? Like people want to feel the same vibes they felt. You know what I mean, from another song or whatever. So if you can find a way to grab different pieces from different vibes and create your own situation and connect the dots like that, I think it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? But I still would like to say I love uniqueness and I still got my own unique ways. Even when I'm in the process of doing my music, I try to find something unique about it. Try to create my voice in a unique way, like on the track, so at least that's on Smash. You feel me?
Okay. Now, Bobby Smurder just was released.
Right.
To you, what does that mean for New York?
It's a beautiful thing. We just lost Pop Smoke, you know what I'm saying, which was a big thing. So for us to get Bobby back, it's just kind of like I just feel the energy just came back. You know what I mean? Kind of into the city, and I think it's just gonna be amazing to see how things progress from here. I want to see him, kill like a drill beat and see where he take that. But I don't know what he got going on, what he gonna be working on. But it's a good feeling to know somebody from the town is out. You know what I mean, on some real shit. You know what I mean, did some real shit, and we could look up to those ideals. You know what I mean, when your man take care of your mans and make sure niggas ain't snitching. Niggas is I'm here. We in this together type shit. It's a good I don't know the words to use, but it's a good thing to look at though.
Okay. Now, like with him, in the industry as a whole, uh, especially with young rap artists, the violence is heavy.
Right.
Is why do you think a lot of artists nowadays is looking at that like a badge of honor instead of looking at it as something like, hey, this is an issue?
I think there's something that I think about a lot too, just being a rapper, artist. You know what I mean? MC. You know what I mean? I gotta make sure I make it. I think I just was talking. Actually, I was in the car with my man's last night. I was just telling him like it was crazy how I could be out here anywhere I'm at, but I'm out here in the A right now. You know what I mean? You moving around, you looking at other black niggas, and you thinking like, you know what I'm saying? Like this nigga might try to kill me or something. Like so you thinking of ways like. You know what I mean? If he try to do some shit like how I'm gonna get around, like how I'm going, like how I'm gonna kill a nigga, or like you know what I'm saying? And it's so fucked up because it's like this is not how it should be. You know what I'm saying? And for me to look at another black, you know what I mean, person and feel like, you know what I mean, I might have to get it on with this nigga, or he might try some funny shit, or he looking at me. So it's like, oh nigga, look at you. It's just sad, like you know what I'm saying? I think it should have just sad, like it shouldn't really be glorified in a way, but it is. And at the same time, I can't front because I be in the crib sometimes like. I be in my bag ready to, you know what I mean? Like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying? I dare nigga to do, you know what I'm saying? And the first, you know what I mean? The first color skin that pop up in my head when I think about it is a black man, you know what I'm saying? And that shit hurt, like, but at the end of the day, as long as you just stick to the main things that you're supposed to, which is just, you know what I mean? Trying to just be good. Have your kids eventually, you know what I'm saying? Just live your life and, you know what I mean? Don't get in niggas' way, you know what I mean? Do your own thing, be your own man and shit like that, because all that, killing each other shit and all that shit really ain't about nothing. And all the OGs say the same shit, you know what I'm saying? So I be confused why some niggas like if you gonna do it, you in the streets, you know what I mean, you a part of it, that's what it is, that's your lifestyle. It's not like you was here and then you came here and started doing that, you was born into it, that's just what it is. But if there's common sense to know like I don't got beef with this nigga, I don't know this nigga, you know what I'm saying? It's no point in just randomly just violating a nigga for no reason, you know what I'm saying? So I just hope that over time, like the cool thing would be to just nigga be a man and you know what I mean, win. That's it. It's all about getting money at the end of the day.
If you wasn't doing music, what would you be doing?
Probably be in the streets. I'd probably be in the streets. Probably. I think that's why, you know, that's like my way out. My father got killed when I was 2, you know what I'm saying? My stepfather died when I was 8. My mom was just a single mom. Just like mad people, you know what I mean, go through stuff. But sometimes it gets desensitized over time because it's so regular for all of us to go through things like this. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you actually, you know what I mean, in the process, you think about your past and you think about you growing up and, you know what I mean, you walking me in Queens, nigga, I'm walking a million blocks from my crib to the train station because I'm far deep in Queens, or I'm going to Brooklyn to go see my mans. I'm the only nigga living in Queens. All my niggas in Brooklyn. I'm traveling from East New York all the way to somewhere in Astoria, Queens, late night, 3, 4 in the morning, because I just left the party with my mans. Everybody go home off the block, and I got to go travel deep. And I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of lost sight of what you said exactly, but make sure I finish this up right. What was the question? I'm gonna finish this up right. Go ahead. What was the question? You forgot it. Like, you even forgot the shit. Look. I kind of went up, but yeah. Oh yeah. What would I be doing? I said I would be in the streets and shit like that. But yeah, like, you know what I mean. Over time, I'm just like, the music was something like it just I was able to adapt to that, and it kind of got me out of doing a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Even though I did some things, but it got me out of a lot of things.
All right. So if they distracted. You know,
Nice
growing up in the hood, and then like you said, you lost your father at an early age.
Right.
Do you feel like that had like a post traumatic stress on you, or and as a whole, you know, because I know a lot of kids that live that same life, and you know.
Yeah. To be honest, like, it definitely did. Over time, I started seeing it more. You know what I'm saying? And when people be saying stuff about in their past, like it affect their future and shit like that, I be like, man, get the fuck out of here with all that shit. You're a grown ass man now. You're a grown ass woman now. I don't want to hear nothing about that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it really do, because you kind of like live your life based off of what happened in your past in a way, and it goes a long way. And I started realizing now, like these past couple years of my life, especially after 2020, you know what I mean? Everybody went through some crazy shit. But over time, I started seeing like it is affecting me and stuff. You know what I mean? It's affecting the way I think. The older I get, and me not being rich at the moment, you know what I'm saying? It creates even more of like I gotta get it done situation, but it started making me feel like I gotta do something crazy to, you know what I mean, speed up the process and shit like that. And I'm so bad with questions because I smoke. I ain't smoked today, but I smoke. So let's get back to that question. Say it one more time. I'm gonna finish this up. I'm so bad.
No, I was asking about post traumatic stress.
Post traumatic stress, yeah, it's a big thing, and I go through it. You know what I'm saying? Like I do go through it for sure, but I keep going. At the end of the day, I see everybody else go through stuff, because everybody got something going on in their life. There's people in third world countries that's going through things way worse than us. So, you know what I mean? I just try to just figure out, like, I'm breathing, I'm alive, I can move, I can talk. Some niggas don't got fingers, some people can't see. I can't even imagine how it is to be blind living on earth. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna enjoy everything I got, and I'm gonna keep going even with the stress. You know what I'm saying? Work through it.
Okay. Now, we're gonna have to
Let's
see where you at with this.
Let's go.
Top 5 most underrated artists from New York, dead or alive.
From New York, underrated. Jadakiss for sure. That was one of my favorite artists. You know what I'm saying? At a point in time, that was definitely, he still is. Jadakiss for sure. I'm gonna say Fabulous, because niggas don't really be understanding. Like, Fabulous really, you know what I'm saying? He done put some work in, like, you know what I'm saying, in the industry. I ain't gonna front. And he got fire. He got bars. He stayed consistent with his shit. You know what I mean? His style, and you know what I mean? He really, I say he underrated in a way. Let me see. I'm gonna go to Queens. See what we got in Queens. Let me see. Somebody that I really could fuck with. Chinks Drugs, before he passed away. He came out with some shit, and even after he passed away, I think they still dropped a couple things, but he had some shit, and he had a certain vibe to him. You know what I mean? Far Rockaway nigga, like, you know, sometimes they like saying Queens and Far Rockaway too different, but you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know the vibes, like, you know what I'm saying? But definitely Chinks Drugs. Two more niggas that's underrated that you said, so I'm gonna try to speed it up and think. Underrated. Shit, nigga, me. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, me, nigga, you know what I mean? Like, niggas don't. But niggas do show me the love. You know what I mean? When people see what I got and listen to my music, they show me love as if I am like celebrity status. They be like, nah, this shit it. Like, you know what I mean? And I know what it is. But as far as the last person, it'll be the future me. I'm gonna say the me now and the future me. That's the last two that's underrated.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, top 5 greatest of all time.
Top 5, I gotta go Jay off rep. You know what I mean? Jay, my God, that's my favorite artist for many different reasons. You know what I mean? People, the typical Biggie, Tupac. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to throw them in the category because it's so easy. So I'm gonna take away Jay, Big, and I mean, Pac and Nas, of course. Nas, Queens nigga, that's what rips. So I'm gonna take all of them out the equation real quick, and I'm gonna go. I definitely fuck with 50 Queens nigga on top of that. You feel me? Definitely. I'm letting niggas know. I always let niggas know I fuck with Kid Camp. That's, you know what I mean, a wild card out. You know what I mean? I like drawing sometimes. Um, uh, damn, it's so many motherfuckers. Shit.
Now this is strictly New York now.
New York. Oh, you did say New York.
Yeah.
I'm over here throwing niggas in from out of town. Let me see. Top. Damn, we're gonna do top five then. We're gonna just go with Jay, Biggie. Pac is from New York at the end of the day, still, even though he, you know what I mean, LA, right? You know what I mean, it's New York, so we're gonna still keep him in there. Biggie, Nas, and yeah, we're gonna go. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna throw I'm gonna throw LL Cool J in there. Fuck it, Queens nigga.
All right, cool. Now, if people want to follow your movement, how can they find you?
At All On Smash. That's ALLONSMASH. On everything, it's All On Smash. Everybody be saying Allen when they see it sometimes, but it's All On Smash. You know what I mean? My project, once again, called The Playground. You know what I mean? On all streaming platforms. And I got some other things out as well, but All On Smash, you find me anywhere like that. Easy.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to come by here today.
I appreciate you, Lucky. Of course, man. You be safe out here, man. You're beautiful, beautiful space you got, man.